Okay, how's it going? I'm gonna review Grand Theft Auto 3. We'll see how this goes. I keep getting confused. I should look at the camera, but I'm over here, so whatever. I like to look so I know what I'm doing. Anyway, alright, I guess it reminds me of when I watched Star Wars The Force Awakens and it was so disappointing and I was so frustrated and I went back and watched the Star Wars movies and it was so important to me to analyze why they're good compared to the new one. That's why I think I went back to play Grand Theft Auto 3, because I played GTA 5 and I was sort of disappointed. Anyway, yeah, GTA 3 I really liked. I just finished it, finished the last mission. I'm sort of obsessively trying to get 100%, but now I can't decide whether I should keep doing that or if, because I've got like 98 packages and I don't know where the other two are. And it's just this thing with old games where like a design thing. It should have a way to easily tell what you've done and what you haven't. But anyway, and it's also just obsession where it's like I should just move on, play a different game, or do something. I feel like I'm not doing enough creative things in my life. But anyway, okay, there are a few things about it, like with Star Wars. I think The Empire Strikes Back is interesting because it has a lot of the famous things that people think of when they think of Star Wars. They think of the Imperial March, bum, 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 bum. Lightsaber battles, which sort of exists in Star Wars, but The Empire Strikes Back has a more epic one. Yoda is in it. There's a few things that are actually originally in The Empire Strikes Back, but specifically in that movie. That's what it really expanded the world of Star Wars more than the original. But even though the original has a lot of cool stuff in it, and I just found GTA 3 feels a little bit like that with the Grand Theft Auto series. I didn't realize how many of my favorite features are in that one, like the all the ambulance missions and the taxi missions and the fire truck missions. All of those and vigilante. They're really fun. And they're a good way to get to know the area, the city. That's a big thing compared to GTA 5. It's way smaller, much tinier, but it actually feels big. It still feels like a really big area where there's so many different little places to go. But you really get used to it. You keep visiting the same streets. You learn these shortcuts. It feels a lot more fun than GTA 5. I think that's what was missing with GTA 5. Just the sense of fun and exploration and everything, like just pickups being around the place. I still haven't played GTA 5 online, so I should wait to see. Maybe that's really kind of interesting. But I have a rule with video games. It has to have an end point. That's why I'm tossing up with the 100% completion. I sort of did the last mission. I've seen the credits, and then unless I can really see a clear way to finish 100%, it can end up dragging out, and I just find it's happened with a lot of games where Super Mario 64 or whatever, I was playing that on an emulator, and then I was like, I should finish all the other little bits after I finished the last battle, but I found it's probably better to just leave it and move on, and anyway, so that's funny. I paused it for like 1 second. In GTA 5 online, anything online, it becomes unclear to me where the end point is. When do you stop playing? And that kind of, I feel creepy with that. To me, video games have to be like an art form or entertainment. It has to have a start and a finish. If it becomes, that's why I tend to be iffy with surfing on the internet. If you're just going on YouTube and clicking links and watching video after video, it doesn't end. There's no, clear endpoint. Whereas if you commit to watch a TV show that you've heard is really good, like I watched The World at War, I just started watching Police Squad. It's I really like it. I just saw the first episode, but it's I'll finish it. Alright, back to GTA 3. Alright, this game is really funny as well. I like a lot of the signs. There's a lot of little things, like at the ambulance, the hospital I mean, I saw on the sign there's like, inpatients, outpatients, and then souvenirs. Just most of it has humor all over the place. There are funny things you could do, like you can steal a taxi, drive 20 meters, start the taxi missions, and it's happened 2 or 3 times. The first customer, the first passenger, I drive back, and it's the taxi driver that got out of the car, and that's my first one. I've stolen cars near the bridge, and then the person ran, and then they just fell off the edge. I've driven an emergency vehicle with the siren on near a bridge, and the cars get out of the way, and sometimes they go off the edge. I don't know why, like, it seems more innocent as well than some other games, because the violence doesn't feel real. Everything is exaggerated, and it's all about like archetypes. I mean, maybe it's a cop-out if I say, it's just that they were limited to certain characters for the time, but it works. I think that makes it less, you feel less guilty if all the cops are literally the exact same stereotype, and all the taxi drivers are this Indian guy. There's no variety, and there's not that many different people. You can see 5 of the exact same person walking down the street, and it's all right. It's all exaggerated. It's a video game. You never forget that. And the cities are full of little things to do. There's, the hidden packages which have a reward if you find them at certain checkpoints. Every 10 you get some new weapon or something at your safe house. There's the stunt jumps. You get money for that. You get money for all those tax vehicle missions. You get there's export garages, and you can drive vehicles there, and everything has rewards. The only problem is, like, with the money, you end up with millions, but you don't always have that much that you need to spend it on. It is useful for weapons, but anyway, I think the game is epic for its time. Like, really, really cool. And yeah, it's kept me entertained for nearly 2 weeks or something. Just an hour or 2 here and there. There are flaws with the game, like some of the movement is kind of clunky and awkward. Some of the missions started to get really tricky and frustrating, because some of them you'd have like an enemy that you're trying to kill, and they're trying to kill you or run away. You've got the police possibly after you, and even if just randomly you accidentally run someone over, and then the police start chasing you, you run over a police officer, now you've got 2 stars. It can build up. There's certain areas where there's gangsters that are after you. The mafia are especially bad. I swear they must have like rocket launchers or something, really powerful weapons, because you can drive through that area and just blow up. I don't know how many times it's happened where I would just be driving through that area and blow up, and I didn't even know. I was like, where did that come from? I think if you shout out at a game, sometimes can be a good sign in terms of not if it's just frustrating, but if it's like, I don't know, in this game when you fail, it's usually kind of funny or amusing. And yeah, I've even had times, I've got the police after me, gangsters or gangs, and some enemy, and then the thing that ends up ruining me is that my car is reversing, and then I bump into something, and in that fraction of a second, this angry taxi driver whose car I stole a second ago opens the door and pulls me out, and I'm like, oh my god, don't do that. And then that, or your car will tip over and you're trying to get out, and then it just blows up and you're too late. It's funny. I'm trying to think. There were some other parts that were very rewarding once you did it, like knocking someone off. You have to destroy their car and just knocking them off, and then they went into the river, and then just waiting, and then mission completed. You're like, yes. I remember there was another sign that said, don't even think about parking here for the fire truck place. I feel like there were lots of other funny things. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but the missions are good because they're sort of short and sweet, and they feel like in terms of the cutscenes, there's nothing, not too much. Your character's fairly neutral, like he's not like overly likable, but you don't hate him. You don't need to know anything about him. He's just some tough guy. The missions feel pretty varied, like not all. I just feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 was every mission was drive to this place, and it'd be like 6 kilometers away, and I don't know how long it took, but and you'd have just a waypoint and it'd tell you the exact way to go. And everything was too spread out. Nothing had meaning. In GTA 3, it's more of you just have the little HUD. You never actually have a map. I didn't remember that. But it seems to be, it's enough to get by most of the time. You can just see your little area. So then you're able to learn the streets, and when it gives you the dialogue, I played it in German again, just with my own music. So, but when it in the mission, it'll tell you where to go, and if you know the locations, you get used to the names of places, and I kind of like that. I also like it as sort of a skill. I always want to develop skills, and being able to memorize a whole city or several parts and then remember where things are. I mean, it's got to be good for your brain. People, as they get older, they get, you know, they can get mental problems or dementia or something, and people do Sudoku to try and help, which is fine. But yeah, I just think this sort of thing, video games can be really good. But yeah, with something like GTA 5, I don't think there's as much motivation to learn that whole ridiculously big city, big area, because so much of it is empty and so much of it doesn't seem to have any reward for doing it. Whereas GTA 3, you feel like you keep sort of getting things, getting some, money, or unlocking things and abilities. It could still have more of that. That's the main thing with GTA 3, I think, is like it's a huge breakthrough for its time, but then you want things to build onto it, and then I think San Andreas did that really well. I haven't played Vice City yet. I want to play that properly and go through. But yeah, like I know they introduced like motorbikes and then properties. San Andreas, I can't remember. A lot of other things though. Some not, I don't think, as good features, like they're getting fat and getting thin. I just remembered the radio stations are really hilarious on GTA 3 as well, and the other ones. But yeah, some of the ads that you hear as you're driving around, I just found really hilarious. Yeah, I don't know if I've got much else to say. I really like GTA 3. I just think it's got a lot of what I was thinking makes a good GTA game. I think they've followed the same formula basically since then. And it's not so much that anything from GTA 3 needs to be corrected, but just built upon. Like the idea of starting on one island and then gradually giving you access to another one later on, and then another one, makes it feel bigger and more epic and exciting when you finally get to go to those places. And yeah, just feeling like I get to know the area really well, all the ins and outs, all the connections, and at any time I can think, oh, maybe I'll go get a fire truck for this one because it's big and sort of heavy. I still haven't gotten a tank. I really feel like I want to try to do that. And I've been watching videos to try to see how people do things, and I learned how to fly the dodo. That was really satisfying because it seemed impossible. It seemed really difficult, but now I've gotten the hang. I'm still not that great, but at least, you know, I can fly to another city, and I've used it successfully in a couple of missions to try to just take a quick shortcut. Anyway, so yeah, man, I'll leave it there. GTA 3, best game of all time, man. I'm just kidding, whatever. Bye for now.